जिंदगी का सफर है ये कैसा
All
सफर.
right, welcome everyone to the second stop in our long train ride through the cultural history of ancient India. Now, if you like thinking about languages, about how they've grown and changed over time, or about the modern politics of language, then this is going to be like your unit. So keep your eyes open. Now, so far, we've been digging in the dirt, so to speak, and talking about all those archaeological puzzles that sort of popped out of the Indus Valley. Now we're going to turn our attention to a different kind of puzzle that comes from studying the many, many different languages of South Asia. South Asia today has dozens of major languages and hundreds of local dialects. But a big question kind of caught the interest of linguists, people who study language, since the time of William Jones in 1786. How could it be that one set of languages in South Asia, almost all of them located in the north, were genetically related to the languages of Europe and Persia? And how could it be that another set of languages, mostly located in the south part of South Asia, are not genetically related to that Indo-European language family? These fascinating questions about language and common descent were actually a central part of what a university education was all about in the 1800s. It was first called philology and then historical linguistics. Nowadays, actually, historical linguistics is no longer really such a popular topic to study anymore. Linguists moved on to kind of more technical topics dealing with cognitive science and behavior and so on. But back then, trying to figure out how the ancient evolution of languages took place was one of the most respected and active parts of the kind of European and North American academies. At the same time, this interest in the evolution of Indo-European languages kind of went hand in hand with older Eurocentric theories about race, ethnicity, and cultural evolution that have had a kind of significant political impact on all of our lives, no matter where we were in the world. On one side in Europe, the whole idea of a pure Aryan identity inspired the racist and ultimately genocidal actions of the Nazis. And now it seems these ugly ideologies are starting to re-emerge in the US and even here in Canada. On the other side, in India, the idea of Aryan cultures has sparked a public debate that is also kind of starting to turn really nasty, where scholars are being attacked, threatened, or bullied by groups of activists who'd rather see their popular opinions being taught in universities than the ones that are commonly accepted by international scholarship. It's kind of like the situation in the American South with climate change or evolution, for example. So even though the study of languages is really a beautiful and noble pursuit, especially studying the ancient Indian classical language of Sanskrit, which I personally encourage all of you to pursue at UBC, even though studying languages is really a great thing, it comes with a kind of tough political baggage that you should be aware of, and it has had a role to play in the histories of racism and ethnic conflict, both in the West and in South Asia. These are the kinds of issues we'll be grappling with in these 4 segments of our unit. First, we'll talk about the different languages of modern South Asia and how they're descended from 3 or 4 distinct language families. Then, we'll work through the story of how Europeans first realized that the languages of northern South Asia were related to European languages and formed a big part of the Indo-European language family, while the languages of southern South Asia formed their own Dravidian family. Third, we'll look at 3 theories that explain how the speakers of these Indo-European languages, the so-called Aryans, might have found themselves in India. And fourth, we'll look at the really heated debate that's going on now about these Aryans that's taking place in India, North America, and even on the internet. So it should be a fun and exciting session, so stick around.